Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I got a new camera stand. It's funny the things that you get excited about now that you never knew that were even a thing 20 years ago. Who knew that I would need a little video stand holding my phone that is also a camera? So I'm hoping that it is getting a good angle because I can't see when I start filming. Today I have for you a super fun little card. I am going to be using the Trucking Along bundle again. It's currently, as I film this, not available. It should be back in stock this week. I don't know how long it'll last once it goes back in stock. So if you want it, you need to just go to the website every day, go to my shopping site, and then search for it. If it says currently unavailable, not available. If it's there, then snatch it up right away. So the punch is still available right now, but they're making, Stampin' Up! Produces and makes all of our own stamp sets. So they are busy making those. They always, you might think when we make a stamp, why it doesn't just appear sooner, because they have to change the production schedule. They have to take something off that they were going to create, and then, they have to add this into the production line, and then it takes time to produce it. It takes time to put them all in their cases, and then it also takes time where they make the stamps isn't where they ship the stamps. So then they also have to ship. So it always takes a few days. It's not an instant process by any. And sometimes you might think, why do Stampin' Up! Makes your stamps? Why is there a delay? It could be the cases, it could be the plastic, it could be an ingredient in the stamp. You just never know. And once upon a time, supply chains worked fairly well. These days, you know, there can always be a hiccup in the supply chain. So here is a tutorial that I've already done with the Trucking Along bundle. It is a all season set. I will do a Christmas card with it probably later this week, early next. Because you can't make Christmas cards, you can also make like a beach card. But I'm from the Midwest, where right now flowers and flower farms are in. So the flower part of it really appeals to me. On this card, if you go watch it, or if you haven't already seen it, this is a two-step stamp. I didn't use the two-step part. I simply colored it with blends. So it gives it a little bit more a colored in look. So today I'm going to use the two-step part of the stamp, which means you stamp this, you fill it in with that. You stamp this, you fill it in with that. You stamp this, you fill it in with that. Two-step stamping is fun. Sometimes when I have a stamp like this, though, I want a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to show you how to do that with your two-step stamps. So we have a piece of balmy blue. And I know here it is. Loose stuff that you just put on the table. So this is gonna be our card base. And then I have a piece of the Inked Botanicals. So if you're in my card club, you have this. That's gonna be a little bit of a background. And the reason it's cut like this is because this is a 6x6 piece of paper, and we made this at my in-person camp. You get more of it if you do 3, and I think it kind of gives, instead of always just having a 4 by 5 1/4 layer behind, it kind of gives it a little bit of fun. Then we're going to stamp our background on here, and then I'm going to stamp my punch on here. So let's get stamping. Let's start with the truck. First, we'll stamp them and two-step them all, and I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to kind of give it some dimension. So we have the truck outline, and it's going to be punched, so I'm just going to stamp it on this little scrap piece of paper. And then let's see all the colors that we have. For this one, we need the balmy blue. I'm going to do a blue truck. Last time I did a brown truck, a gray truck. I couldn't even remember what I did. I'm going to keep going back to that color. So you can see it's a solid stamp. It's always pretty easy to line these up because you just stamp right over the top. So now we have that colored in, and you can stop like that if you are just doing a quick two-step card that kind of have a fun, funky feel to them. I'm just going to show you how to get a little bit more artsy. And then while I have my balmy blue open, I'm going to add some clouds to my card. And this one also has a two-step. So see, here is the outline. So we'll give a few clouds. It's a sunny day, so it's a sunny day with clouds in the sky. And then this would be the two-step. So you can fill that in. For this one, let's just give some more depth of clouds. And we'll just add some clouds. So those I have done full strength, and then I'm just gonna get this off the ink. I'll probably get one more very faint one. And so now we have a little cloud of sky. So that's another way that you can use a two-step stamp. You wouldn't want to do that to the truck, but it works for that. I think that's all the blue. Now let's do our tree. So we'll just add a little forest of trees over here on the side, on the edge of the farm. Don't worry about them overlapping. The colors will kind of cover all of that up. And then I'm going to use shaded spruce and do the inside of my tree. This is a really dark color. So I'm also going to two-step with it. So got one, and then we'll do this as the two-step over here. So that one just has a little bit lighter of a color. And then those will dry a little bit brighter than what it looks. Done with that one. Then here we have that one we can do last. So on this one right here, we have the wheels to the truck. So we'll go back, I'm gonna grab some smoky slate. So you can see it has the wheels, the hubcaps, and the little bumper bar. I'll do those in smoky slate. It's one of those colors it's always hard to tell if you have ink on your stamp. And I missed, but we're okay. And we're gonna fix that. And then I'm going to do my road and pecan pie. It's not a two-step stamp, it is just road. If you don't have pecan pie yet, it's a fabulous color. It's one of our new colors. So fill that in with some road. Then we have our flowers, which I'll get to in a minute because you need to have this placed. So the rest of these we'll do in just a minute. Then there's the little Farm Fresh. Don't forget that on your truck because it's seriously the cutest part of this set. So just stamp your Farm Fresh. And then I'm going to punch, and then we'll come back to, I guess I didn't just close my stamp pad. Just line that up in there and punch that out. When I do the Christmas card, I'm going to use the truck builder so you can see how you use the other pieces of the truck, these ones that we're not using now. And we'll build a truck out of cardstock. So now we have our truck on here, and I want the flowers to be in the bed of the truck, but I need to know where the truck's going to be, right? So you have, because they're going to be stamped on here. You can see the punch doesn't punch those out. So just get your placement. Then go back over and get your, this, when I did this one, just so you can see, if you missed this video, I put the railing on the truck and then I used the sunflowers. On this one, I'm not gonna put the railing and I'm gonna put the pots of flowers. There's two different sets of flowers. So about right here, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're just gonna line your truck up to match that. So there's our little pots of flowers. And then let's get the two-step for that, which is kind of interesting. It just kind of fills in some color. It doesn't hit all of them because the leaves are kind of still there. So again, if you're just doing two-step, then it's a more funky, cartoony kind of look, but we're gonna fill that in. So that's crushed curry. And then let's get our grass on. And I'm just doing it straight Old Olive. I thought about doing it in black, and the color, sorry, it was concentrating. And then I just kind of stamped that off to give some illusion of distance as well. And then the last stamp we have is the saying, which is sending sunny thoughts your way. So I'm going to take my Inks Botanicals piece here and just add that. Super cute. All of our stamping is done. All of our cutting out is done. So it's still a simple card, but now we're just going to add a little bit of highlights. So let's start with the truck, because this is my favorite thing to highlight. So I have my Balmy Blue pencil. I should have grabbed out my new pencils because they have pecan pie, but it didn't really matter. So I'm just going to add, you can see just little stripes of color to like where the light would hit this. So we have that. And then let's do some little bit of shading. I'm still keeping the ink color, not changing the ink color, but now I have a little bit of black, and that will kind of fill in those wheels. And then let's get our gray. And then I'm just gonna lightly kind of go around with my gray and get that the little bumpers, because those don't pick up in the two-step, because you just pretty much get one. You can take your marker and color them all in, but it's not worth it. Now I have my blender pen. Of course, the ink's gonna smear a little bit, but that's okay. And now I'm just gonna add that shading, and I'm gonna be careful not to go everywhere, because we still wanna keep the two-step. And I will put an up-close picture of this over on my blog so you can see it when I'm done. The blender pens come 3 to a pack. They are fabulous because it's just empty fluid. So you can use them with your stamp pads. You can use them with your pencils like this. And it just moves the color around. Now I'm going to pick up some of this. I didn't want over here to be too dark because I don't want to cover up the Farm Fresh. Just get a little bit of shading. And then let's do the gray first. Kind of swoop that around, and it stays lighter, that does, than the smoky slate that's on there. And then I'm just going to take this black and just pull it. Again, I want to keep some of that smoky slate in there, and then we'll clean the brush off by getting the bumpers. So easy. You can do another color if you want up here on the steering wheel. I'm just going to make mine black. Now let's do the same thing over here. So if you noticed when I two-stepped the trees, there was no trunk. That was really what kind of started this whole process, because I was like, this needs a trunk color. And then I thought it also needed some shading on the truck. And then I'm like, might as well do them all. So there's that. And it really doesn't add that much more time. And the watercolor pencils are so inexpensive. So just add a little bit of highlight there. And then for our trees, I have Old Olive, which will pull in the color of our grass. So I'm just going to kind of swirl some through here. And then to brighten it up, I have the Granny Apple Green, I think. It doesn't say. And then on that, I'm going to add it to my grass. So I still get the two-tone. And you don't want to put it everywhere. Like, you don't want to fill your whole tree in with this. Just give some shade. And then I'm going to use it over here. And I'm just going to draw some lines. These are not like perfect stamps of flowers. They're just two-stepped. And especially because I put the curry on top. But now it looks like there's some leaves. I'm going to take my Melon Mambo and just add it so there's also some pink in there. And then let's get our gray, and we'll do the flower pots. Or the buckets, I guess they are. I'd love to go to flower farms and pick flowers, and they give you these big buckets. And then we're just going to take the blender pen. Let's start with these light colors. I don't have a piece of scrap paper there. That is clean. So let's get the green and the pink. And I'm just going to kind of dab it. And that will help just kind of fill all that color in. And since I've got green on, let's go over here and kind of fill in our grass and our trees. And then we'll get the road. And I know my truck's going to go right here. So I'm going to clean my brush off because I didn't put any scrap paper up here. And then let's get the trunk and the roads. So this is really 2 ways, especially if you're new and you don't have a lot of supplies. 2-step stamping is super easy because you just use your ink colors that you have, and then the watercolor pencils can kind of give it that artsy feel, or you could just get watercolor pencils and stamp it and not do the 2-step. So let's put this all together. This one I'm going to tie my ribbon around the whole thing because I'm using twine. So let's add our background piece. I'm going to put it close down to the bottom. Because remember, this is 3 by 5.5. And then let's add our little summer day background. I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm getting to the very end of a couple of sheets. I don't know how I got to the end of more than one at once. Let's do it this way. Kind of fits like that. And we'll just add this to our card. And remember, you want to just line this up so it's got the flowers in the back of the truck. Easy to do. So see, that's super easy. Now I want a couple of really simple embellishments because I don't want to detract from how cute this is. So I just have our white twine, and it comes in the pack of all the neutral twines. No, scissors. Knew they were here. I'm just going to tie a bow, just a simple bow. Just if you were going to tie your shoes. I find with the twine, it's easier to do a knot first. That kind of stabilizes it. And the way I've done it, you are going to see it on the inside of the card, but I like that for this one. If you don't want to see it on the inside, then tie it around your inked botanicals piece before you mount it to the card. But this is a nice light twine, so I liked it on the inside. I thought it kind of helped with the little flower feel. Have that. And then one tiny little embellishment. I'm going to take our butterflies, which are fabulous on all of our summer cards. And this will kind of fill in any gap that you have. And I'm just going to do one. You could do more if you want, but again, I wanted to keep this kind of simple. Super easy. And see how much just those little stripes of color add to your truck. Here's my other one. Pretty much the same card. Kind of hard to change that one. A little bit of different placement, but it's the same. And then let's go back and look at this one where I simply colored it in. So the trees are really where you're going to get the main thing, and then the flowers. But when you don't 2-step the flowers, there are some holes. So you have to use something to color those in. So that's what I have for you today, and I will catch you back here later. Bye.